infantry, probably. All right, PDF. Hey. All right. Let's go. No problem, Fotini. Let's get it going. Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched any Age of Empires in a few days, so let's see if I still remember. Oh, imagine picking purple, though. We need to change that. Purple and blue is just impossible to see. Impossible to see. Oh, Geo's here, too. Long time no see in the Twitch chat. Although you've been active in Discord recently. All right. So, Byzantines versus Japanese. I guess we'll focus on your side, just because you're the one who submitted. It's going to be a desert map, so that's going to mean that there is a lot more meat on the map to take, which is pretty nice. And that is going to allow you to get really early men-at-arms going. As a Japanese, you definitely want to go for early men-at-arms. Byzantines, they don't really have anything early for them to attack you with. So Japanese, they're going to be saving quite a bit of wood on their buildings. So if you think about it, 50 wood saving on the lumber camp, 50 wood saving on the mill, 50 wood on the second lumber camp, 50 wood on the mining camp. So that's 200 wood savings. If you think about that, that's like kind of like Dravidian bonus, somewhat. It's pretty similar. So it's quite good. That's 200 resources that you don't have to spend, which it's kind of like you get the barracks for free, you can say, which is quite a lot. Hey, for Vanguard.
Playtime, Pog Survival Brainiac.
So since you save so many resources, if you think about it, generic men-at-arms still exists. Like, it's still a thing that you can do. But if you're saving 200 resources, well, each militia is worth 80. So that's like 2.5 militia for free. So Japanese is going to be doing a really strong men-at-arms rush. And, of course, Byzantines, they don't really... They're not going to have early units. I mean, they can make trash units early, but men-at-arms are pretty good against those. And, well, likely they're going to go archers, but it's still fine. You go men-at-arms into skirms, or even men-at-arms into archers yourself. It's probably going to be the best opening here. You don't really want to go scouts, I would say, in this matchup. Just, he does have cheap spears, which could be a problem, and I don't think you'd be able to do too much. Now, the main issue with this opening so far, as I said, you save so much resources from the cheaper camps that we don't need 4 on wood. So 4 on wood is going to be great for just standard civs. But as the Japanese, of course, you're going to have way too much wood with 4 on wood here. Might consider going fast scouts versus biz. Yeah, scouts archers. You can, but I think just playing standard here is completely fine. Just playing men-at-arms is probably going to be pretty good. Yeah. And this map can be pretty easy to wall as well, just because it's a desert map. So the wood lines are usually a little bit close to the TC, but actually this map's fairly exposed for a desert map. So if the map is really exposed, then it definitely allows you to do men-at-arms a bit easier. Oh, we got to learn how to do the house trick to save those vills. It's really important to be able to save those vills because, you know, we all forget once in a while. But you can recover from that by just spam clicking a house. It's actually not that difficult, so I would say maybe learn how to do that. But, well, you're going to take a sheep here. Yeah, I think this is just a lobby game. Both players around, what, like 1,200, 1,300? I think movable is a little stronger these days. I'm not sure, though. Yeah, 1,300. There we go. Okay, so minus a vill is really not great, but we can recover. If you get some militia out, you'd be able to kill some villagers of movable. Now, see, look, we're floating so much wood here because we had so much on wood from earlier. So, yeah, as Japanese, 3 on wood is going to be completely fine. Normal civs, yeah, 4 on wood is going to be usual for men-at-arms, but yeah. See, we can't even really go up because the boar was taken over here. The efficiency wasn't good. Because we had 4 on wood early, that means 1 less villager on food early, which means that we can't do any really fast uptimes. So, even, I think these days people don't even go 4 on wood for men-at-arms. They just go 3 or even like 2 and then just add more later. Something like that. Yeah. So next thing to point out, if we're trying to do some kind of a aggressive build, well, looks like we're actually not. I was gonna say normally you don't really want to wall a ton when you're trying to go aggressive with men at arms, but it looks like we've kind of given up on the men at arms idea, and yeah, you could go into scouts here. It's pretty late though. You pretty much can't do any kind of aggression or like really strong aggression with this late of an uptime. I guess your scout is still full HP, so that's okay. Ooh, probably shouldn't take this fight. Yeah, I mean he just loses this fight. You can only take that fight if you're in the next stage. So he wasted a whole bunch of HP on the scout, which is really good. So now if you go scouts, you're going to be pretty far ahead in the scout count. But the problem here is going to be that Byzantines is going to have cheaper spears. So there will be a lot of spears. Here we go. Yeah. So walling here. Yeah, this side is a bit of a pain to wall. Honestly, you could just wall to the house. But I think as the as the Japanese, you want to be the aggressor. So you don't really want to get all of these big walls up super early. You'd rather make military and then make the walls later. So you will go into scouts, which, I mean, it's not horrible. I think men-at-arms would have been probably better. Like, let's say that we had better scouting. Say that we're at Movable's base with 3 men-at-arms right now, which probably should be good, or should be possible pretty easily. You get in here, and you just do damage. 3 men-at-arms. The scouts are going to hit later, and they're just not as strong. The only thing that scouts have is their mobility, which you can use, but as long as you don't waste your scout HP, then it's probably okay. Challenged Movable a couple times and lost both. He's played a lot of games. And he has improved a lot. He was hard stuck at like 1100 for a while. Now 1300. So it's good to see some improvement. Okay. Getting a... I don't think you wanted to get a spearman. I don't think you want to make spearman unless you know the opponent's going for scouts. So you needed a bit better scouting of his base. Because if you had better scouting, you know he's actually going archers. And then the spearman is a huge waste. So don't make spearmen unless you actually see the scouts. If you're not sure, you can always just res wall the vills in. It's kind of okay. Plus you're walling anyway, so the spears, they're only good if you're playing open. If you make walls and spears, you've invested so much into things that are not really going to be able to do any damage. Oh, this could be good though. He sees though that Byzantine town watch. He sees from so far away. So you have to keep that in mind. Oh, maybe we get a pick. No, we won't get him. Good job not going under the TC and getting too aggressive there, though. Hey, Jonah. Okay. So, what's the next step from here? We got a little bit late double bit axe, so definitely want to remember to get that right away on up. But, well, you were doing a lot of things, walling and making the stable and scouts and stuff like that, but it's really important. Making a range now. All right, makes sense. Ooh, I don't really like 3. Ooh. Also, if you didn't retreat that 1, the spear would have died earlier, and then you wouldn't have taken another hit. 4 spear hits on the scout is completely worth it. Moogle's completely happy with that. Generally, if you're up against a spear, you want to have 4 at least. 4 scouts to kill the spear. Then you take 2 hits, usually, and it's kind of okay. This could be okay. If you can get all of these over here, maybe, but this house is going to give so much vision. You have to go really wide, otherwise he's going to see it. But you have to go now though. Basically, like, this army is going to get devalued the longer you wait. So the earlier you attack, the stronger it is, because the opponent's going to have less stuff. So if you make 8 units and then chill, it's going to slowly get worse over time relative to what your opponent has. So you really want to get the units going and then go and attack as soon as possible. So we don't want to really be hanging out on this hill. Unfortunately, scouts are kind of garbage. So as you can see, probably won't be able to kill these archers. Although I guess oh no, he does have fletching. Okay, I mean this is going better than I thought. You probably should have gotten absolutely destroyed, but well, you do lose the fight still. And yeah, the spears, not really worth it at all. I think the main thing is probably want to work on the eco management side of things. That's probably what I'm It's probably what I'm mainly concerned about is we're investing way too much into walls, production buildings that we don't really need. Here, the walls are mostly wasted res since Scout and Skirm deals with straight range, no problem. Yeah, exactly. I think just funnel walling to the TC here, funnel walling here, and then funnel walling here. Super small, protects the gold. You have wood, you have berries. You don't worry about going all the way down here. Like all of this walling is just kind of wasted resources. If you just made a little bit tighter walls, you would have still had all of the resources that you needed. Then more resources to go for more military, which means you win fights, which means you can go more aggressive. This tower is kind of bad from movable. I don't think he should have done this tower because now you're just going to attack somewhere else. So that's good. A bunch of skirmishers. So skirmishers more of a defensive unit. Even if you go forward, what are you going to accomplish? You're going to hit this palisade gate for forever, and it's. I mean, it'll eventually go down, but by that time, movable will be up or will attack you somewhere. So generally, you don't really want to be chilling here because he will never take a fight that he can't win. So if your guys are here, he might think about sneaking around the other side. Now, where are his units? He just has like too many queues. Yeah. I think that movable also needs to not put this many units in the queue. All of this should be farms. All of this wood that's kind of chilling in here. He should have a market, more farms, and he should just be going up to the castle age right now. Both players should be up around now, but we're making maybe we don't really need to make this many units basically because well, movable's walled. You didn't scout, but he should be walled here, but yeah, he isn't. But well, actually, this is open here, so he should have paid attention a little bit more. So easy to overqueue archers and feudal. Yeah, well, see what you do. You should always have an eye in the top here. That's where the global queue is in the game. Always have an eye on the global queue. And if you're overqueued on vills, if you're overqueued on units, you just pay attention. Oh, he's losing a vill. I think if you're going to use vills to fight, you really need to pull back the weak ones. You can't just let them die like this. This is a huge misplay by movable. He actually, I guess he didn't quite have enough units here, but I mean, imagine his tower was in a better spot, maybe on the hill. Or sorry, not on the hill, like on the gold, I mean. Oh, wow, this is a very bad play by movable. Losing actually 7 villagers. So all he needed to do was retreat and just make a few rounds of skirms, and then he can push this back. But no reason to lose like 7 vills. Having a few archers in the mix made a huge difference. Yeah. So just a little overreacting by movable, but I mean, he should have seen this hole as well. If he had seen this hole, he was so reliant on him not having a hole that it threw him off. But this is where the fact that he didn't really add farms early is really hurting. Because now, look at his economy balance. No market. He added scouts when he has like no economy. He has armor as well on the scouts. So it's like this one scout that he add. Oh, wait, never mind. Did he add this? No, he didn't have it stable. He got armor for his starting scout, which doesn't make any sense. It's like 150 food. Yeah, basically don't spend resources on things that are useless is the moral of the story. But figuring out what is useful and what is useless in a given situation does require some experience. So generally what you want to be doing is focusing on one unit type, unless adding another unit type is going to give you some kind of utility. So it's like scouts, great to add when your opponent's full skirms. But if your opponent has a mix of skirms and archers, well, the skirmisher from you can counter both of those units. So you might be thinking more going skirms. Oh, he did add a stable somewhere. Oh, it's here. Yeah, but if you have like skirms, which already counter everything, then you have to think, okay, what does the scouts actually do? What do the scouts actually do here? They do nothing. So why do we want to add scouts which do nothing and are really expensive? Instead of that, it's better to go to Castle Age. And if you think you want cavalry, then you go for knights. It's a little better. Stable for bloodlines and onto CA. Yeah, if he was up. But Fotini's already in the Castle Age with a huge eco advantage here. And the military, Yeah, gonna be good. Now, one big issue is that Fotini's trying to go big brain, and she's making like stable units when she should just upgrade these. Just upgrade these, like not armor, not that kind of upgrade. That's the pretty much lowest priority here. What we want to do is go for Bodkin Arrow first. Oh, you know what I didn't do is plug in my battery pack. Just give me a sec. There we go. Now we have batteries. Hopefully. Oh, here we go. There we go. I'm assuming the stream lagged slightly there. I got a little notification that I didn't have my battery or my laptop plugged in, but now it should be fine. Yeah. Bodkin and crossbow and win, because you just attack. So no need to randomly make knights. No need to randomly make armor. Just crossbow, bodkin arrow. You just get the things that allow you to attack. So movable's not even up. You make all the attack upgrades, and you just go. Because what can you do in Feudal Age against that? We're adding TCs, which is fine. It's what you should do. But we kind of missed the timing to actually do massive damage with technology advantage. So if your opponent's in Feudal Age, you want to get the useful Castle Age upgrades as soon as possible, which would be Bodkin and Crossbowman. And then, go for an attack. Now, this could be good. This will get overchopped at some point. So, I mean, this is still open, so Moogle kind of needs to do something about that. But, yeah. So, if you get map control versus an Archer Civ, this is one. Get middle map or forward siege, one mango. Yeah, exactly. Even on high level, like this advice is really good. You get a Siege Workshop here. Byzantines kind of wants to play, like, ranged units. You start making mangonels while you're booming behind it. You don't have to go all in. You have mangonel pressure on the front. Then he has to make mangonels, and it's fine. Then it's like 1-to-1 trades. Completely fine. And then you have kind of control over the front, which is really good. But yeah, I really dislike adding a few random knights that aren't really going to do anything. They're really expensive to just add a stable. Well, you had the stable earlier, but even just adding a couple of knights is so many resources. It's really not worth it a lot of the time. Unless you really are good at utilizing them to pick off villagers here and there. Something like that. Camping this hill is fine. If you're going to camp somewhere, it is probably a pretty good place. But being a little bit more active with your military going around the sides, you can see that you could get so much damage by just going to the back. So just a little bit better scouting. And yeah, making 2 unit types, generally not going to be as good as just making 1 unit type. Or like 1 main unit type that requires good upgrades, aka these, and then with Siege. Knights, they kind of require upgrades to actually be good. So right now, they're actually going to go in and die to skirmishers. Yeah. Here's such a dominating hill. Yeah, exactly. This hill, whoever gets a castle on this hill or controls this hill is going to be in such a good spot. So good job realizing that this hill is actually very important. Against Biz, they always make me full pikes when I have caps. Well, crossbowmen and knights is pretty good at dealing with full trash. You can go for a mix. Because each trash unit really hard counters what they're supposed to hard counter, but then they're so garbage against other units. So if you go for a mix against full trash, then it's actually okay. But yeah, Fotini just chilling at home, doing full booming, and Mooble, he really needs to go all in. He needed to think about going all in a long time ago. And walling is the opposite of going all in. Basically, wasting resources on walling, it's like a defensive play when you need to go full aggression. So Houdini is just going to have so many more resources collected. I think that if you take a bunch of damage in Feudal Age like Movable did, down 8 vills, then you have to think, okay, I can't add TCs, I can't add economy, I need to add full military and just go for one big attack. If it fails, I lose. If it doesn't fail, then great. Then we win. But if we just chill on 1 TC while the opponent's booming 3 TC has military, well, we just die later on. So, Movable gonna go for monks, though. If he gets redemption here, he's randomly making some knights as well. It's just, I don't know, making unupgraded units is just bad. Instead of making these, Could be making... Well, I think the game is too far gone at this point for Movable. He needed to make the decision earlier. But yeah, earlier Siege, something like that. Going into Redemption, Monks could be good. Yeah. Yeah. So getting Forging for like 2 nights, they're going to go in and accomplish nothing. Like, look, yeah. No Bloodlines on Biz. We have Ballistics even. They almost died to just Skirms. Well, there's some Crossbow in here too, but at least Byzantines can heal the Knights pretty quickly. But I don't think even 4 Knights will do 0. Will do 0, but he needs to get a big Bada Boom. Actually, he needs like 3 big Bada Booms. He needs Fortini to just delete her army. And if that happens, then yeah, it can happen. It can be a movable victory, but it's kind of 2 TC versus 3. So this is just really movable making the wrong decision. And I think we can all learn from this game. If you get behind, you need to do damage to the opponent to get back ahead. Maybe at lower levels, you can just hope your opponent makes some mistakes to get back in the game. But you have to be more active in forcing mistakes. Once you get, like, this is 1300, people know how to play the game pretty much. So you need to be a little bit more active with forcing the opponent to make mistakes by making more military and going for an attack. You can't just sit back. Yeah, here we go. Hey, Baron, thanks. Second armor canceled. Oh, yeah, it was canceled. You got another blacksmith back here. But, I mean, second armor on 6 knights with no bloodlines? It's not going to do anything. I would love to see Fotini get a huge attack round with all the mangonels on the knights. That would be huge. But, yeah. Full counter army. Get on stone, drop forward castle. And, yeah, try and get map control. Yeah, exactly. That's one way to do it, for sure. If, like, say that movable went... Well, here, let's watch this battle. The mangonels will maybe go down, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. Yeah, like 1 mangonel for 6 knights? Not worth it at all. That kind of play just doesn't really work on this level. Because, yeah, Fotini just retreated the mangonels, and then, yeah, the crossbowman did the job. So, yeah, imagine Mughal went full military, got a castle to hit this TC. Suddenly, Fotini wastes a TC, maybe loses some bills potentially. Mughal has this position, and then he can push. And that probably would have been the only play that would work. Trying to be kind to Mughal. Yeah. Well, here, let's speed it up, because this game's over. Let's see if there's any bada booms here. Probably not. 1 for 1. Oh, actually not even. Nice pullback on that. That was really good. Yeah. So many mangonels. A nice shot. 1 for 1. But, yeah, we're 112 vills at this point. And the knights are just so ineffective. Oh, castle here. We can put it here. Yeah, it's nice to put it on the hill, but in this situation, you just put it on the TC. Oof. Big shot. He's going to clear up all the mangonels. Ay. That was a big hit. It doesn't even matter. We're on like 121 vills, but still. He's probably going to GG when this castle goes up, right? Yeah. It's like so over. Do we see samurai now? Just like make something. You just make samurai or something to go in. Castles everywhere. Okay, this castle's a little ambitious. Well, not ambitious. A little opposite of ambitious. A little useless. Oh, they're in between the castles. They're all dying to them. All right, GG's. Well played.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Zax attacks. Optionally, if you have mobility advantage army, CA plus 2 knights could have gone full raid and open opponent. Yeah. Definitely cav archers with a few knights or light cav is pretty good. Because sometimes you just need a bit of utilities to prevent scorpions and mangonels from ruining your day. I think that kind of play is best with light cav. I think if you go really long feudal age with a lot of scouts, don't lose them, and then go into CA, you have like 10 scouts that you turn into light cav, and then you just have CA, and he can never move out with anything because the light cav will kill everything. Was actually not tryharding. Well, I mean, Movable kind of threw when he threw all of his vills there. It was really that hole. So that was probably a frustrating loss for him. Just because that whole kind of led to that. Down for another replay? Yeah, we're doing more replays.